Welcome into the LIBA Business Hour, sponsored by Nats to Tasseling, highlighting local independent businesses in and around Lincoln on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, LIBA President and CEO, Bud Seinhorst.
Welcome to the LIBA Business Hour. Thank you to our show sponsor, Nats to Tasseling. Earn cash, build character, Nats to Tasseling. Learn more about Nats at notafraidtosweat.com. Our opening segment today is sponsored by UStop. Earn points that spend like cash with a kickback card, which you could get snacks and even gas. Available at all 24 UStop locations. You can check us out. Listen on the LIBA app, theticketfm.com, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, and Allo Channel 951. Today, I'm excited. We have Scott Lockard with Hampton Enterprises on the show. Welcome to the show, Scott.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
This is going to be a fun conversation. So, first of all, Scott, just kind of give us an overview of the things that Hampton is involved in. I mean, I know you guys build properties and then you own and manage commercial property. So kind of give us the big, broad overview of all the things that you do at Hampton.
Sure. Well, we're a two-part company, as you said. We have over 900,000 square foot of commercial property that we own and lease out. So we'll build new buildings for ourselves. We'll do tenant finishes within those buildings. We have 7 developments across Lincoln, and we can build roughly another 500,000 square foot of commercial property still on our existing property that we own. So we're continuing to build and develop for ourselves. We have the construction division that not only do we build our own buildings and do our own tenant finishes, we have a long history of customers that we work with all across the state of Nebraska. So we've got a solid team of guys that continue to build. We'll build for really any customer, anything commercial related. We build offices, retail, medical, a lot of banks. We've built a lot of schools. If you have your own tenant finish in a building and you want us to do that, we can do it. If you have your own land and you want to build a building, we can do that. If you need help finding land, we can help you with that as well. So we're kind of, we like to call ourselves a one-stop shop, if you will. We can take care of any need you have for commercial property.
Excellent. And you said you're across the state, right?
As far as commercial construction goes, yes. As far as our properties go, they're all in Lincoln. But commercial construction, we travel. We built a school in Holdridge. We finished up a project in North Platte this summer. We built schools in Kearney and Hastings. Built a bank out in St. Paul. Medical office out in Alma. So we built all across Nebraska. We have a couple of projects up in Omaha that we're doing right now. The majority of our work is in the Lincoln surrounding area. So Lincoln, Beatrice, Seward, Waverly, but we do work across the state of Nebraska.
So now do you have offices out west then, Scott, or do you guys you take your crews out and during the construction process and just have them out there during that, right?
Correct. Our office is here in South Lincoln. We work everything out of our office. I have superintendents that can travel to job sites and run projects remotely. My project managers will go on the job site, but they work primarily from the office. They'll do job site visits, depending on what phase the project is in. We do have carpenters and laborers and finished carpenters as well. And depending on the project, they may be working out of Lincoln, but for the most part, our labor force, we try to keep around Lincoln so that they can be at home every night with their families. And it's just worked out very well for us.
Awesome. So this is really a special year for Hampton Enterprises. Y'all are celebrating 75 years in business.
That's right.
And so as we were preparing, I just wanted to do a little research because 75 years is not a number you hear a lot in business. And so I don't know if you've seen these statistics or not. Maybe you have. 36% of companies survive for 10 years. 21% make it 20 years. 12% make it 26 years. And only 0.5%, not 5%, 1/2% survive for 100 years. So I think that's it's amazing because we've had several businesses in Lincoln over the past couple of years celebrating 50, 60, now Hampton celebrating 75 years. That's a huge accomplishment as a company.
It is. And obviously there's a lot of people to thank for that, obviously starting with Joe Hampton himself. I mean, he was an amazing legend in the city of Lincoln and built a great company. Several people have worked for him for a long time. I had the privilege of working with Joe for 10 years before he passed. I've been at Hampton now for almost 16 years. Next year will be my 16th anniversary. And we're still blessed to have a lot of people who have been at Hampton for a long time, understand our values as a company, and help carry those values forward. So again, Joe built a great foundation, and we're building off of that foundation and continuing his legacy going forward.
Talk about those values a little bit, Scott, because I think that, when we look at folks at Hampton and we talk about different folks, it's like they've been here 10 years, 15, 20 years. I mean, that's just amazing at what Joe built over time, because without values and culture, that doesn't happen, right?
Right.
And so talk a little bit about how the values in that culture that Joe started, how it evolved, and then also talk a little bit about how you carry on that legacy today.
Sure. Well, we took a few phrases that Joe would say, and we have them actually spread out within our office here. One phrase is, if you're going to build something for someone, treat it as if it was your own, if it was our building. And so the decisions we make, we think about cost, we think about longevity, we think about maintenance. We want to give somebody a building at the end of the day, or a space that they're proud of, that they're satisfied with, and it's not a headache at the end of the day. That's not to say that every project goes smooth and without challenges. It just means that we're going to work on those and make sure that we solve those problems. And but more importantly, that we use a lot of those learned lessons on the front end as we're going through design with our design team, to make sure that we give our customers what they're wanting, what they're expecting, and then what they're happy with. Another thing Joe would say is, if we say we're going to do something, we do it. I mean, it's just as strong as having a good word and a good name. And we talk about that internally with all of our staff is, hey, let's not make false promises. I've lost jobs in the past, projects, because I wouldn't tell the owner what they wanted to hear. My competition might have, but I wouldn't tell them, hey, we can do this for a cheaper number, or we can do this at a quicker schedule. I'm going to tell them what I think is real and what I know we can deliver on. At the end of the day, if I didn't get that project, somebody else did, whether they got it done on time or got it done under budget, doesn't really matter. What matters is, did I do what I thought we could do or not? And then again, if we make a commitment, we follow through on it, no matter what the difficulty is involved with that. And that was Joe's values. He was a hardworking man. He gave back to the community. He didn't want to give a hand out, as he would say. He would rather give a hand up. So if he can help somebody out that improves them and allows them to be more solid, then he was all for that. So we have the Hampton Family Foundation, which is set up to give scholarships and money back into the community from our profits as an organization. And I'm proud of the board that's involved in that, and proud that Hampton continues to be profitable so that the foundation can continue to give back to the community.
Well, you were talking about a couple of Joe phrases or things, and I'll just paraphrase them a little bit, because to me, this is just good advice as a business owner, regardless of what industry you're in. Build something or treat something as if it were your own, right?
Right.
So I imagine when you're designing and building a school, you're thinking about, is this a school I would want my kids to go to? That I would want to go to their basketball games, their football games, their theater performances. And then the other one is, kind of your word is your bond. Mm-hmm. And I think those are such basic pieces of advice, yet profound pieces of advice. And I think those are two great examples that you use from Joe that really are why you're still here today, 75 years later, right? I mean,
Well, and we plan to continue going on. I mean,
Yeah, it's not like you're ending, that's for sure. So
right when we get to the 100-year mark, I think I'll be around 68 or turn 68. So hopefully that means I will just have retired or retired a couple of years before then. But I look forward to our 100th year anniversary, and I look forward to looking back and saying, hey, these last 25 years were like the first 75 years, where we had great people, great customers, delivered great projects, and have great tenants. And again, we're proud of the buildings that we own. We're proud of the space that we have. We take care of all of our properties with our own maintenance guys. We take care of our properties with our own lawn crew and snow removal. And that's something that's very rare. You don't see a company, first of all, that not a lot of companies own properties and do construction. There's definitely a few, and there's more now than there was 20 years ago. But not a lot of companies do their own brokerage, their own property management, their own maintenance, lawn crew, construction. We are definitely a one-stop shop, and we're proud of what Joe built, and we're proud to say that we've been carrying it on for the past 5 years, 6 years without him. And again, the next 25, 30 years, 50 years, absolutely.
Well, and I think that is a very unique, because when you're dealing with Hampton, you're dealing with Hampton. That's it.
Right.
It's you talked about maintenance, you talked about lawn crew, you talked about snow removal, you talked about build outs or fixing up things. So whatever they need, basically they have one place to call. They don't have to sit around and go, who do I call because of this or because of this or because of this? And I think there's a huge value that you provide to your customer when you do those kind of things.
Yeah, absolutely. And even though we are two companies technically, Hampton Construction is owned by Hampton Enterprises. We really try to operate as one company, mm-hmm. and we really discuss it within our employees that, hey, we are one company. We are Hampton. And our employees definitely understand that. They know what they do matters. And if and when we step out of line or we have an issue, we work hard to solve it and to make it right.
I think it's been fun to watch this year as Hampton has, I would say, just made it a year of celebration, mm-hmm. which you guys deserved it. You have earned it. And it's great to see that, because you guys have done a lot of things over the course of the year to celebrate 75 years. Talk a little bit about some of the things that you guys have done over this year to celebrate 75 years.
Well, we wanted to start with our employees, because obviously we're not a company without them, and we're not a strong company without great employees. And so, we've really reiterated to our employees who we are as a company and what 75 years mean to us. We did some fun things, like we went out and bought a 1948 truck, a Ford F-100 that we found in Kentucky. And we put a 75-year logo on the side of it, and we've used that in different events. We've brought it to some golf events that we were sponsoring, and actually the Veterans Parade this weekend, we'll have that going through the parade, so we're excited about that. It gets a lot of attention. It's a nice red classic truck. I always tell people, it's kind of funny to have a truck from 1948. We wanted to honor the 75 years, but we all knew Joe would not have a brand new truck in 1948. He was very
Joe would be driving that truck today, not 75 years ago, right?
That's right. But it was we didn't want a different year. We really wanted it from 1948, since that's when Joe started the company. And we plan on keeping it around for a little while at least. And we'll see if we keep it till our 100th year or not. But yeah, it's been great recognition. We put up some billboards just helping to advertise that we hit our 75th year. And then we did a series of videos as well. The first video kind of talked about the history of Hampton and honoring Joe and his legacy within the community. And we utilized different people to kind of talk about Joe and about Hampton and their experiences. And some of that was our employees. Others was Tim Clare, some customers. I think Lori was in our first video, Joe's daughter. The next two videos was one focusing on construction and what construction does. The next video is on the properties and who we are as a properties division. And then the last video is really what we call Hampton Future, which is just a reminder that, hey, Hampton is still strong. And we plan to continue on in these values for the next 25, 30, 50 years and add to our team with people who fit our model and want to have a great, secure place in Lincoln to work and be proud. So we're kind of pleased with those videos, how they have turned out. And I think the last one has not officially aired yet, the Hampton Future, but should be coming out pretty soon. We also made a little coin to give to our customers. We had a 75th year party back in May where we handed out those coins and just kind of celebrated Hampton. And it was fun to see customers and architects and relationships that we've built for decades all come together and just celebrate Hampton.
Well, my coin is in my golf bag because I told you I thought that was the best golf ball marker a guy could have. So
well, yeah, but you chip so well you don't need to putt.
That's not the case at all. I just need to know where that ball needs to go. So as we kind of finish up our segment here, Scott, tell me now, Joe's been gone 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. Tell me what you think that y'all are doing today that Joe would be the most proud of. Like if he walked in the office today and gave you guys kind of the old attaboy pat on the shoulder, what do you think it is that he would be giving you the attaboy for?
Well, Joe's first and foremost, his goals were to take care of our customers, to give stable employment to our employees, and to build Lincoln, and then also to give back to the community. And all of those things are happening. So when he set up the company before he passed, he wanted this company to continue to exist forever. And in order to do that, we have to continue to take care of our properties, lease them out, have high occupancy rating, and then continue to build and develop. But then also have a good customer force that, we continue to build across Lincoln and the surrounding communities. And all of those things have happened. Now, interestingly enough, our last safety meeting, which was just a few weeks ago, I asked everybody, all of our employees, to raise their hands if they had a personal relationship with Joe Hampton. And surprisingly, well, not surprising to me, but less than half of our company knew Joe personally. And as we continue to go on and grow in age, obviously that number will go down. So we continue to talk about our values as a company, which again, were started by Joe Hampton, but they continue on by us as a group. And so knowing who we are as a company first is important, and knowing what we want to accomplish and not change from, not waver from, is very important. So reestablishing our values through our employees so they know how to do their job daily and how to have good interaction with our customers and provide high quality buildings, high quality tenant finishes, high quality snow removal or maintenance or lawn care, whatever they're doing every day. The expectation is high because we've had a high bar for a long time. And again, we're not perfect, things happen, but we try to make up for that when we do have a misstep, and again, not make promises that we can't deliver on.
Excellent. Well, Scott, I think it's vital for Hampton that you are there in 25 years to celebrate 100 with them, because there are not many people. You probably count on the hand of people in the state of Nebraska that are able to celebrate 75 and 100 years with their company. So,
right.
Maybe you can be in an emeritus position by then or something, right? So,
we'll see.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time, Scott. And Hampton has been, and this started with Joe and it's continued on, been such great supporters of LIBA and such great supporters of our community, and looking forward to what they can do to help. And I think that hand up instead of hand out philosophy is really, it resonates a lot here at LIBA and with what goes on at Hampton. So, congratulations to you and everybody at Hampton. Thanks for being with us today on the show.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me.
Thanks. This is Scott Lockard with Hampton Enterprises. You are listening to 93.7 The Ticket. We will be back right after this.
Thanks.
Picture a hot summer day, sun blazing and the fields as far as the eye can see. Now imagine, you're a teenager making bank, all while enjoying the great outdoors. Welcome to Nats Detasseling Inc., where they're not afraid to sweat. This summer, join the Nats team for an unforgettable experience. Forge friendships, learn responsibility, and earn money. Visit notafraidtosweat.com now. Nats Detasseling, where hard work meets good times.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is Nebraska's premier NIL company, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
USTOP is a member of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association, promoting local businesses through education, networking, and local government advocacy. This is why USTOP sponsors the LIBA Business Hour on the Ticket 93.7. Every time you fill up at a USTOP on a Tuesday, USTOP donates 2 cents for every gallon sold to local charities in our community. This month, USTOP has partnered with United Way of Lincoln and Lancaster County. Stop by USTOP and fill up every Tuesday to help us fuel our community.
Are you searching for a helping hand in life? Look no further. Integrated Behavioral Health Services is your answer. They're your compassionate, trusted partners committed to guiding you from challenges to triumphs. Their licensed professionals offer personalized therapy for individuals, couples, and families. At IBHS, the focus is you. Experience a life-changing transformation in an environment tailored to your unique needs. Visit ibhealthservices.com today and take that first step towards a brighter future. Discover the power of healing with Integrated Behavioral Health Services. You're not alone. Let them walk this journey with you.
At Ascend Aesthetics, they understand that you want results and you want them fast. That's why they've developed the fastest weight loss and body toning programs that are clinically proven to shed extra fat, boost muscle mass, and tighten skin without having to spend hours at the gym. Reveal your leaner physique, ignite your testosterone levels, and boost your energy with personalized plans tailored to your goals. Learn more at slimdowne.com or call 402-480-6680. Ascend Aesthetics, where transformation begins.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So, if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Get all of your favorite restaurants delivered with VenueDelivered.com. One place for ordering delicious appetizers, refreshing salads, hot entrees, fresh sandwiches, and more. From Venue Restaurant and Lounge, Piedmont Bistro, and all Lincoln Good Sense Subs locations. Download our phone app to earn rewards on all of your carryout and delivery orders. Available on Apple and Android, just search for the Pillar Restaurants app. That's the Pillar Restaurants app. Download today.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
Back to the LIBA Business Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This segment sponsored by Integrated Behavioral Health Services.
Welcome back to the LIBA Business Hour. This segment is sponsored by Integrated Behavioral Health Services, building a stronger, healthier community through advocacy, inclusion, perseverance, unity, and compassion. Learn more at ibhealthservices.com. Our next guest today is Adam Kavan with Kavan Custom Construction. Adam, welcome to the LIBA Business Hour.
Hey, bud. Thank you.
Well, it's good to see you're out in the field today, so to speak, Adam. You're working from that remote office, so we appreciate you taking a few minutes to come and visit with us today. So let's start, Adam, and just give us kind of an overview of, the things that you do at Kavan Custom Construction.
Well, I do everything, but to be honest with you, at the moment, I wear all the hats. I run the business. I do a lot of the work. I don't do everything. I have a lot of subcontractors that help me carry out my projects. But I'm constantly wearing the business owner hat and the foreman and the labor. So I switch back and forth quite a bit at the home office, the mobile office, as you mentioned, the truck here. Yeah.
So what kind of projects, if people are looking for something, what kind of projects does Kavan Custom Construction do that you feel like, kind of just fit right in that wheelhouse for you that you're able to help folks with?
Gotcha. Well, I've got quite a bit of experience. I grew up in a general contractor family doing much of what I'm doing today. So I like those jobs that they're a little tricky, right? Maybe it's a 125-year-old farmhouse, or it's, you're not quite sure what you need to do. The harder the problem, the more fun it is for me, right? I like to come in and, know we can move walls and put an addition in if that's what solves the problem, or, undo 100 years of construction before us, right? Layers and layers of stuff. So kitchens, bathrooms, additions, anything that's tricky is kind of my cup of tea.
And you even do the basics like basements.
I do, actually.
Which is a project you did for us at our house. So what was it like? I'm always interested with business owners to talk about what was it that helped you decide that you wanted to start Kavan Custom Construction, and kind of what was the backstory on how you got to that point?
Well, like I mentioned before, I grew up in construction, right? I was on job sites by the time I was about 10 years old, working with my dad and my brothers. And 2006, 2007, things started to turn. You guys remember that? Mm-hmm. And that's when I kind of jumped on that. Well, maybe if I go to college and I get a degree, I'll have something to fall back on, and I can jump into the corporate world where things are a little bit easier to do, right? I spent some time in corporate America, about 10 years, between a couple different large corporations. And it wasn't fulfilling, it just wasn't for me, the travel and the emails, just sitting in front of a laptop all day. So I kind of came back around and back into construction, where I'm a lot happier, I'll be honest with you.
Kind of back to your roots, so to speak, huh?
Absolutely.
Very good. Very good. So tell us about a project that you may have worked on that you're just really proud of. That was one of those, maybe it was something really challenging, maybe it was a remodel, maybe it was an addition, maybe it was, I know it wasn't a basement because that was a pretty easy project for you, but kind of a project that you're really proud of, or like one of the most fun type projects that you were able to work on.
Absolutely. There's been quite a few. I'm trying to think of one. The one that really pops into my head, I kind of kind of alluded to it already, right? That 125-year-old farmhouse. We got into a project that was supposed to be just kind of a small kitchen remodel, and we started discovering things in it that just structurally it wasn't sound. So we were able to kind of go back, bring in some structural engineers, really take that house all the way back down to the footings and reconstruct it, put it back to the way it was, the way it should have been. One of the things there was the original footings under the house were sinking. When they were put in and, before 1900, they just weren't where they should have been. And so we had the opportunity to come in and pour new footings, put in new beams, lots of beams. I love beams. And really, open it up and put that farmhouse back to the way it should be. And hopefully is for another 200 years,
Very cool. Now,
yeah.
Okay, so I know you're a man that does everything in the business. Like, you wear every hat. Although you only have one hat a day, you wear every one that's included as the business owner. So when you sit down with somebody or somebody calls and says, hey, I've got a project for you, kind of what's your process you try to take them through to make sure that you're delivering just an awesome end product for them?
That's a great question, and it's kind of been my theme for the year. Being that I'm in this business and I've been in this business for so long, doing the work, I don't always look back to the design phase, pre-construction phase, as much as I should. Right? Mm-hmm. I can kind of get in there if it's a bathroom or something. We can kind of do things on the fly. But what a lot of people don't understand is that you've got probably a 6 to 12 month lead time to design your project, get all the decisions made before you start construction. Now we've kind of been forced into that now in the post-COVID era, where, maybe your cabinets are 14 weeks on back order or something, mm-hmm. that effect. So we're being forced to really take that design and what I'm calling pre-construction phase into consideration. Otherwise, you kind of get into a project and then you don't know where the pitfalls are. So I've been working to make sure that we can address that ahead of time.
Excellent. Very good. So a lot of business owners, like, the world has changed in the last 3 years, right? And just things have been different. And we hear so much about supply chain and inflation and, getting products. I mean, just, you mentioned cabinets taking 14 weeks. What are some of the struggles that you're facing right now, and kind of how has that evolved and changed, like, through the pandemic and now that we're kind of in that post-COVID era?
Well, I mean, supplies are one of the big ones, but I think the one that's really it's really hitting a lot of guys hard is the labor shortage, right? And we're talking about that like maybe there's a lot of guys sitting at home on their couch, but that's part of the issue. I think the bigger issue, but you and I have had this conversation before about the skills gap, right? Just because you might have a body for somebody to step in and do some sort of work, it doesn't mean they're going to be trained to the same level that that they should be, right? Mm-hmm. I've got guys that have been in the industry 10, 15 years coming in as subs, and maybe they're making little mistakes that are costing me time down the line that 10 years ago you probably wouldn't have had. And so I think the skills gap is really starting to rear its ugly head. I mean, like we said, even Mike Rowe's been talking about that for 10 years or so, but it's really starting to hit us hard.
Wow, that's interesting. And I'm glad you kind of talked about that skills gap, because workforce and skills gap and some of those kind of things are things we've heard a lot about here at LIBA. And we've tried to be creative in the things that we come up with that we're able to do for our members. We've done seminars on recruiting and, just thinking differently how we do different things. And I think from my perspective, one of the great relationships we've been able to try to help our members with coming through in post-COVID is the relationship with the Career Academy out at Southeast Community College and LPS, because, they're providing some of those skilled trainings. And, a lot of business owners are going, hey, they've got the basic skills, When I say we're going to hang drywall, they actually know what drywall is. They have a general idea how to do it. Now we just need to teach them our system. And so it's helped like shrink that training gap, I guess. So, if you hire someone from TCA and they're a tile person, they know the basic skills of tile. Now you can teach them the Kavan custom construction way of this is how we manage it. And it kind of helps you that way. And I know you guys have participated in that.
Yeah, we have actually. And I've been very impressed. Tile and drywall are the two things that I was really coming to the top of my head when you were mentioning.
Okay, we did not script that either. That's pretty good by
no,
me.
We didn't. But it's that sort of stuff. And I see some of that skills gap in even in my day-to-day life. We just recently I took a tile class with a couple other contractors here in town, and we've lost gaps just as modernization has happened, right? One of the things that we've done, I'm not going to plug this product, but Schluter Systems is a tile system that really stands out in our industry. That system really fixes a lot of things that have been wrong with the tile installation industry for 50 years or so. And so there's all kinds of things out there that, continuing education is a huge gap. So
well, that's really interesting that you bring that up, because that's probably one of the things that I've struggled with in my professional career is we get busy doing the thing and doing the thing and doing the thing, but not investing in ourselves and, learning new things. And so like tomorrow afternoon, I'm doing a Zoom with somebody to learn some different software just to be able to manage how products or how you can keep projects on track and some of those kind of things. And so I think you touched on something that's really important. And one of the things I always say, and now that I'm going into that world of just owning my own business, there's a lot of times that business owners spend so much time in their business, they don't spend time on their business. Yep. And that could be a lot of different things. It could be going and learning the tile thing. It could be, maybe working on something. How can I market my business better? Or, is there something I could do to make my billing system better? Some of those kind of things. So it's good that you're doing those kind of things and trying to kind of keep it up.
It's hard to cut out time for those sorts of things, but at the end of the day, if you're not improving,
if you're not improving, somebody else is, right? I mean, at the end of the day, your competitor is, and that's how you can keep a competitive advantage. So, so you kind of do everything: tile, floors, bathrooms, kitchens, bedrooms, remodels, additions, all of those kind of things. How can people find you, or, do you have a website or, Instagram page? Are you a TikTok star maybe? Maybe you should get into TikTok, Adam.
Well, you can find me online, kavancustomconstruction.com. Got a nice little website up there. I think the photo's outdated. There might be one more kiddo to put on that photo, but we're there. I've got an Instagram page. I'm wearing all the hats, so I don't always post as much as I should, but I'm on Facebook too. All under the same name, Kavan Custom Construction. So
very good. Anyway, what are some things you are seeing right now in the market? I mean, we've seen like how prices of a new home or just buying a home have gone up. I think last I heard was like 25-30% or more, just to purchase a home. And that happened kind of through COVID and all that. Now we're seeing higher mortgage rates. It's taken longer for people to sell their houses. I'm hearing a lot about there's kind of an evolution when it comes to a house where, you buy the starter home and then you go to the next one and the next one and the next one. And that's not happening right now, which is, I think there's a lot of things contributing to our housing shortage. Are you seeing a lot more people maybe investing resources in updates and upgrades versus a whole new house?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm constantly hearing, and I've said it myself, look at a 2 point whatever interest rate. I'm not going anywhere, right? I'm here. right? Let's look at the problems that we have with this house. Let's find our pain points and see what we can do to fix it, right? If that kitchen's outdated, well, maybe it's time for the kitchen. Not, you know what, we can find a house that's just a little bit bigger with a little bit nicer kitchen, and pay 2%. That's just, those days are gone. So, well, hopefully not gone for long, but
yeah, well, we'll see. That's a conversation for a whole other day, probably.
All right, we'll keep it positive.
But no, I think that's interesting though, and I'm guessing you're seeing a lot of that, and I think
you
kind of saw a lot of that through COVID, and then it's continuing, right?
Absolutely. Yep. A lot of people that just want to, maybe address the little issues too. A lot of handyman stuff. I've got several different guys that do handyman stuff, and they're just constantly moving. So
excellent. Well, I will give you a huge shout out because a couple years ago you redid our basement while we were on vacation. We only had to do one call that was like the holy crap call, and that got fixed pretty quickly. But you guys did really great work, and I appreciate that. We left and we were gone for a week, and in that week we were gone, we came home, we had a whole new basement, which was really cool. You and you guys did a great job. We enjoy the base. Well, I probably enjoy it more than anybody else because it's kind of my domain, but I just want to give you a shout out and appreciate what you guys did because you did a great job for us.
Thank you, bud. I appreciate that.
Excellent. Well, again, Adam Cavan, CavanCustomConstruction.com. Did I get that right?
You nailed it.
Perfect. All right. CavanCustomConstruction.com. Check them out. If you're looking for some things to happen around your house or do some new renovations, additions, kitchens, bathrooms, bedrooms, what have you, check them out, give them a call, and we'll be right back. We'll be back right after this on 93.7 The Ticket.
Picture a hot summer day, sun blazing in the fields as far as the eye can see. Now imagine you're a teenager making bank, all while enjoying the great outdoors. Welcome to Nats Detasseling Inc., where they're not afraid to sweat. This summer, join the Nats team for an unforgettable experience. Forge friendships, learn responsibility, and earn money. Visit notafraidtosweat.com now. Nats Detasseling, where hard work meets good times.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is Nebraska's premier NIL company, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
USTOP is a member of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association, promoting local businesses through education, networking, and local government advocacy. This is why USTOP sponsors the LIBA Business Hour on the Ticket 93.7. Every time you fill up at a USTOP on a Tuesday, USTOP donates 2 cents for every gallon sold to local charities in our community. This month, USTOP has partnered with United Way of Lincoln and Lancaster County. Stop by USTOP and fill up every Tuesday to help us fuel our community.
Are you searching for a helping hand in life? Look no further. Integrated Behavioral Health Services is your answer. They're your compassionate, trusted partners committed to guiding you from challenges to triumphs. Their licensed professionals offer personalized therapy for individuals, couples, and families. At IBHS, the focus is you. Experience a life-changing transformation in an environment tailored to your unique needs. Visit ibhealthservices.com today and take that first step towards a brighter future. Discover the power of healing with Integrated Behavioral Health Services. You're not alone. Let them walk this journey with you.
At Ascend Aesthetics, they understand that you want results and you want them fast. That's why they've developed the fastest weight loss and body toning programs that are clinically proven to shed extra fat, boost muscle mass, and tighten skin without having to spend hours at the gym. Reveal your leaner physique, ignite your testosterone levels, and boost your energy with personalized plans tailored to your goals. Learn more at slimdowne.com or call 402-480-6680. Ascend Aesthetics, where transformation begins.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So, if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Get all of your favorite restaurants delivered with VenueDelivered.com. One place for ordering delicious appetizers, refreshing salads, hot entrees, fresh sandwiches, and more. From Venue Restaurant and Lounge, Piedmont Bistro, and all Lincoln Good Sense Subs locations. Download our phone app to earn rewards on all of your carryout and delivery orders. Available on Apple and Android, just search for the Pillar Restaurants app. That's the Pillar Restaurants app. Download today.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
Back to the LIBA Business Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This segment sponsored by Ascend Aesthetics.
Welcome back to the LIBA Business Hour. This segment is sponsored by Ascend Aesthetics. Lose inches and gain confidence with the medical weight loss and body contouring clinic at Ascend Aesthetics. Learn more at slimdowne.com. All right, as we do every week, I got to get a little insight from my pal Nick Sainert, what he's thinking on the game. Now, we're actually pre-recording this show for the November 11th game with Maryland, and after the show, we'll be leading right into the pregame show. So I want to get Nick's takes on the Maryland game and see what he thinks is happening with the Maryland game. So we're going to put him on the hot seat today, the LIBA Business Hour hot seat.
There you go. So I guess when you look at Nebraska, right, this game somewhat is a cause for concern for me specifically, Bud. And here's why. Nebraska's pass defense is not great. As good as Isaac Gifford and that secondary has been, they've also given up some big plays. And Maryland and Matt Rule said it earlier this week. Matt Rule is going to they're going to have big plays. And so when you look at Nebraska, it's do what they've done best all season and don't let those big plays allowed compound on one another. So don't allow a 30-yard pass play and then a 15-yard pass play and then a 20-yard pass play in the span of 3 or 4 plays, because number one, that's demoralizing for your defense. Number two, that just takes the wind out of the sails of not only your team, both offensively and defensively, but the entire stadium. Nebraska's going to have to figure out a way to keep the crowd engaged. And if they're able to do that, then Nebraska will probably win on Saturday. Now, I think also part of it is what worries me is they have a really good running back in Hemby in the backfield. And one thing that Nebraska struggled with all season long has been biting on the play action. And so what we know this Maryland team can do is throw the ball really well. But then also, if they do play action, if they establish a run game, if Nebraska's defense allows Maryland to establish a run game, we don't want then Maryland to do a play action type of performance to where the secondary's coming up and biting on the run and Maryland's able to throw it on over the top. Nebraska can't allow that to happen. Offensively, you just hope that you can score 3 touchdowns. And I think if Nebraska scores 3 or 4 touchdowns, you feel pretty good. But, man, that seems like such a large mountain to climb over, is that 3 touchdown mark. It's bonkers. So I think Nebraska ultimately wins, but, man, I think it's going to be tight, and it could not start out well in Nebraska's favor to start, but I think Nebraska and that crowd will help get them over the edge. And so I think Nebraska wins by, maybe 3 points, maybe.
Excellent. Well, I always appreciate your perspective, Nick. You always provide some good perspective and analysis, and it should be a fun day at Memorial Stadium. There's a lot to play for, and that's one of the things I think I kind of mentioned last week. Like, we're at the beginning of November, and there's actually something for Nebraska football to play for and for Nebraska fans to cheer for. And so I think the stadium will be electric. Like I said earlier, we're recording this show early because of the pregame show and all of that. So stick around on 93.7 The Ticket. But before we do that, I really want to give a shout out. The day this show airs is Veterans Day. And I think this is an awesome day that we celebrate every year, recognizing those who serve our country, those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country. A salute to all of those veterans and the family of veterans. And I think sometimes we forget about those who stick around here at home while our men and women in uniform are over there serving our country. So thank you to their families for that sacrifice as well. It's a big sacrifice. And we appreciate all you do and everything that happens for our country. The final word is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative, helping Nebraska student athletes excel within the name, image, and likeness landscape. Learn more how you can be involved at 1890nebraska.com. As we wrap up today, just a few things coming up here. November 17th, we have our murder mystery event out at James Arthur Vineyards. On November 21st, our LIBA luncheon featuring Attorney General Mike Hilgers. And on November 28th, Coffee and Contacts hosted by BFT Lincoln down in South Lincoln, about 17th and Pine Lake Road. I appreciate Scott and Hampton Enterprise for all they do for LIBA. Thank you to Adam for coming on the show and talking about Kavan Custom Construction. Like I said, they've done some great work at our house. We appreciate you listening. Come back next Saturday. We'll be back live in the studio next Saturday. Nick and I will be down at 1040 O Street. Come down, grab some milk coffee. We'll give Whitey another chance to bring us a breakfast pizza. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, Mr. Whitehead. Bring that breakfast pizza down. We'll catch you next week. Thanks for listening. You've been listening to the LIBA Business Hour on 93.7 The Ticket.